like this here to educate people, you know, about the atrocities that do exist right here in the United States, you know, and if you turn a blind eye to it, then you are a part of the problem. But if you stand up and say, okay, we're not advocating opening the jail doors, prison doors, and let everybody out. No, we're not advocating that. But we are advocating justice. We are advocating that there's a better way that we can handle the criminal justice system here in the United States opposed to what we have been doing. You know, and that is my job to say that regardless to the hell that I've been through, I'm here to say that there is a better way only if you step up and you get involved and you speak and you say, no, 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 no. We're not tolerating this anymore, because I have clearly said, and I'll continue to say, never again will I allow myself to be tortured. You're going to have to really kill me this time. You know, no question about that. I would never endure that again. And my mindset is such that I try and do things that are positive. Since I've been out of prison, I've never been in trouble again with law enforcement officials except 2 times. And those 2 times was traffic tickets. You know, I was in fact speeding. You know, so I pleaded guilty to that right away. You know, because that was my case. You know, but other than that, I have a job in Chicago. I'm a supervisor for ceasefire. Some people may be aware of it, some may not be. But would you believe that I have the best record of all ceasefire sites throughout the United States? The areas that the mayor and the police department gave us, it was a setup really. You know, they gave me 2 of the most vicious areas on the south side of Chicago. And they did it in hopes that I would be a failure. And they would say, okay, the ceasefire program in Woodlawn is no good, so we're not going to fund them. But please know that I've had the best record of every ceasefire branch in the city of Chicago. I had no homicides, 0, from January last year all the way up until Monday. Monday was the first time that we had a fatality on my watch in that area. And it's because of the fact that I grew up in Chicago, south side of Chicago. So my team and myself, anytime that we go out in the community, we go out in the community with the hopes of deterring somebody from doing violence. You know, and we're out there morning, noon, and night. Quite naturally, the police have been at us at every turn, not wanting us to be there. They felt that the mayor should have took that money and placed it into more police officers. But here's the problem with that. Internal affairs, professional standards went on TV. The Fraternal Order of Police went on TV and said it was a bad idea to take the police out the cars and put them on the streets walking around. If that's a bad idea, then how can you be a deterrent? Me and all of my group, we walk the streets, we walk the alleys, we go where the police don't want to go. But yet and still, we're not viable. Yes, we're viable. We're very viable, and that is another reason why some don't want us there, but we're going to be there. I would like to give back to my community. I would like to be an instrument of peace. And that is exactly the course that I take every day. It's a dangerous job out there, but nevertheless, we do what we can. Everybody here, you know, I like for you to understand that Darrell Cannon has endured things that someone else would probably had a nervous breakdown or something else. You know, I've lost all of my family members during the 24 years I was in prison. My son died of a heart attack. My mother died. My father died. My brother next to me died. and my grandmother died, and through all of those deaths, IDOC wouldn't allow me to go back to not one funeral, even though there was a policy allowing prisoners to go back to the funeral to pay their last respect. But the idea was to destroy me mentally. And if they couldn't do it in other ways, like solitary confinement, then maybe they could do it through me losing my loved ones. But again, I'm thankful to God that my mother, as well as my grandmother, the spirit of them remained in me. And it kept me strong throughout each one of those ordeals. One night I woke up in Tams, I was shaking. I was shaking all over. I got out the concrete bed, I went to the sink, and I threw water on my face. Tams is always cold. They keep it cold there morning, noon, and night, all year round. I took my shorts off and laid on the concrete floor in my cell, and I stretched out. And I just laid there. The purpose of me doing that is that I wanted to bring my body temperature down. And that was the only way I could bring my body temperature down. That was the only way to stop me from having a nervous breakdown. And I'm thankful that it worked. That happened to me a couple of times while being in Tams. While being in Tams, I've seen them take guys out of their cells who have sliced their wrists because they couldn't take isolation anymore and they wanted to bleed to death. I've seen one guy that was on the concrete yard. They took too long to get out there and get him, and he had a heart attack and died. I've seen guys try to hang themselves in Tams because they couldn't take being in there. It has been vicious. It has been brutal. The things that I've seen and had to endure are things that will live with me for the rest of my life. But again, I'm a firm believer that God had a reason for Darrell Cannon going through everything that he's went through and survived. Do you know that while being in Tams, I had to drink water that was almost the color of tea, and in doing so, it damaged my liver. They did a liver biopsy and come to find out I got cirrhosis of the liver. I don't drink. So how in the same heck I get cirrhosis of the liver? I don't use drugs, been in penitentiary all these years. I'm fortunate and I'm blessed that I was able to get out of the penitentiary in 2008 and get medical care. And my weight went from 215 down to 179 or something like that. But now, since being out of prison, my weight has gone back up now. The liver is manageable, and I'm up to 189, and I'm back working out again, you know. But I think about all the guys that was down there with me who are now in other prisons. Their liver are continuously being damaged, and they're not getting care for it. Why? Because IDOC only gives you the minimum amount of care and nothing crucial enough to really help you, because it's not within the budget and it's not within their policy. Prisons now have become warehouses where all they want to do is just put you in there and continue to get more money. All these little towns around here want prisons because the inmates in prisons are on the censors for the town. So that's more money coming into town. You know, anytime a human being is no longer looked upon as a human being but a commodity, something is wrong. Something is seriously wrong. I am here today in hopes that students, faculties, other people that are here, please understand that if we don't stand up now to make a change and to let our voices be heard, we are doomed for the future. Because everyone in prison is not going to be there for a lifetime. Some of them will be coming out of prisons, will be coming to your communities. And they are ticking time bombs. Ticking time bombs. The only reason I'm not crazy and committing mayhem is because I know it's a better way.